wide variety of experiences right now, everything from the sandwich generation to multi-generational teams to people feeling as though they're not valued. When organizations can express that, that is truly culture building and trust building. And so internal communications is really important at helping to deploy those communication channels, and opening up, time for discussion and discovery, so that conversation can go up and down the line in a fluid, transparent manner, rather than, an email from the leader once a month that says, we're going to talk about, COVID and childcare this month. What we need more of is conversations. What we need less of is just blast emails.
But as I'm trying to think about the capabilities of leaders, right? And most of them are not communication. It would not be the first thing that comes to my mind for a leader, and not soft skills, not empathy even. It wouldn't be the first thing that I would say about the leader. And it seems that these capabilities are getting to be more and more important if you want to have a successful company.
Yes. I mean, highly skilled, highly talented people have feelings too. Just because somebody is a rock star in their skill set doesn't mean that they're an automaton. And the environment that we're all living in right now requires people to be gentle with one another and to be thoughtful.
Yeah, I totally agree. But it seems like when I'm thinking about creating leadership programs, it seems that they're talking about the business side even much more than talking about these soft skills. Am I mistaken, or you think it's changing?
I think that it's changing. I think that the conversation is more welcome, and the value of it is more understood today than it was 3 years ago. But it's not a natural skill set for everyone. It's uncomfortable. I mean, sometimes those conversations are going to be about what you're not doing right as a leader. And nobody wants to hear that, but it's still important. So, that's probably one of the reasons why, executive and leadership coaching has become more of a regular part of people's benefits packages. There's a lot of activity in that space. I personally don't work in that space, but I know that when we work with clients and there are members of leadership who just aren't feeling as though they're effective and impactful in that area, we bring in resources for them. But 15 years ago, people really weren't talking that much about executive leadership and leadership coaching. So that's just kind of one of the many canaries in the coal mine where you can see that this piece of leadership is becoming more normalized.
Yeah. So we're talking about companies bringing back people to the offices, and let's say they do need them in the office half of the time, whatever. How could they get their workforce back, being engaged and present and in the office?
Well, the thing about culture and culture improvement is if what you're rolling out is change and change management, you will have to expect that there's going to be some attrition, because right now it's really transparent to all of us that the priorities have shifted for a lot of people, and that's driving this great resignation. So if you're going to say, okay, we need to change policy and we need people in the office for X number of hours a week, there are going to be some people who just say, that's not what I'm interested in. Thanks. It's been a great number of years. Okay, that's one example of kind of just the way the world is sifting out right now. It doesn't mean that it's good and it doesn't mean that it's bad. But as organizations are trying to roll that out in a way that is thoughtful and respectful, and maybe even strategic, they're going to want to talk to their staff base, and communicate in some way that it's important to know what the staff wants, and then find a way to connect what the staff wants with what the leadership needs, and be really transparent and super clear about how you're trying to go about supporting both goals at the same time. People will be more flexible and more likely to stay personally invested if they understand that they're being heard and that their desires or their needs are a priority while decisions are being made, even if it's not the decision that they want 100%. People are weighing what's important to them right now, and as I've been beating the gong through this conversation, they want to feel heard and valued. They want to know what it takes to be successful in their jobs. They want to know that leadership sees them as individuals and understands their needs, and that they're supported in their organization for further growth and development. So the best way to do that is to say, this is what the organization needs to meet its goal. We understand that this is how the majority of the team or the staff feel, and where we're coming together and trying to find a middle ground is by going about it this way. But again, it's really back down to communication. People aren't in a mind frame to be dictated to. They're in a mind frame to be, communicated with.
What do you think has made the change between, like, my parents were they were staff, a worker for someone, the manager told them what to do and they did it. And now it seems that the staff and the employees are getting much more powerful, I would say, in this equation. What has made this shift?
Well, the